And we're back in the room. Hello everyone, welcome to the 6th drawing tutorial. This one's all about body posture and people. Now I'm not going too heavy into this, I'm just going to show you a few examples of how I like to draw people when they're not looking, make up my own body postures, pretend and invent new ways of drawing people. A little bit of confidence is involved and a lot of observation. This is a picture from a surf magazine called Backwash, and the photo is taken by a fella called Chris Burkhardt. Now, it's a beautiful photograph, and I've had it for ages. I've even painted this picture, but we're going to use this as a little reference for me to draw. I'll put it in the corner here for you to see. So I'm starting off again, like I have been with all the other tutorials, super basic and rough and loose key lines and markers. So you can see how scruffy that circle is for the head. Remember not to be too precious with your drawings, just stay loose. The idea is your sketchbook will be full of loose drawings, and towards the end, if you've been doing it for a good full year, they'll get tighter and better, trust me. Okay, so here quickly I'm putting in my key references of the hips, the knees, the shoulders, and where the ankle fades off. Now my pencil does move around really quickly, and sometimes you'll see it move in between points. And you'll see it like that, like in between the hip and the elbow. That's my way of making a guessed measurement. That's my way of trying to put the elbow or whatever in the right place. So you'll see my pencil move around quite a lot. There again, I did it again. So there's the basic skeleton of that figure. Now I've just imagined those reference points in regards to what I see on the photograph. You kind of have to use a bit of imagination to where these little angles will be. But observing people in real life will really, really help do that. Now I'm just going to have a bit of fun here and draw more reference points in from the photograph, like the collarbones and the muscular shapes of his arms and his body. I'm going to quickly go through all that now. Again, keeping really loose, not worrying about how hard or soft I'm drawing anything. If you are copying this image, then obviously please pause it. If you're not, which I recommend you don't actually, I recommend you just find something you like. Find a picture, maybe a skateboard or maybe someone from a video game. Doesn't really matter. This is all about posture and figuring out where all the joints go, where all the elbows and the knees and the hips go. It's all about observation. Here I'm just having a quick zoom in. As we've looked at drawing hands before, the hand on that picture is pretty small, so I'm just quickly drawing it from my own reference really, so I can tell what the hand's actually doing. It's a very simple shape, and it's very easy to complicate a simple shape. We all know it's a hand because it's at the end of his arm. Okay, I'll really try and scribble through this as quick as I can because you can see what reference I'm trying to use. So just trying as loosely as possible, trying to match up what I can see, observing every little crook and cranny. When you're looking at your object or your person from a magazine or from real life, just keep looking. And don't worry about going over the same line over and over and over again. As long as you're using a lighter coloured pencil, reds, oranges, blues, or something you can rub out later on, that's fine. Just enjoy it. Enjoy scribbling, enjoy making a kind of mess. Sometimes the makings of a drawing are the best parts. I'm quickly drawing you a very stationary and still stick man, just for some little reference. Now, in traditional drawing, when it comes to drawing figures and human anatomy, there are some rules that people try and stick to. Me personally, I never have. I like to draw what I see and fix things as I go. I don't try to measure things too much. I don't like using grids and I don't like using the pencil as a measuring device. I just like to draw what I see and go from there. It's kind of like when you're at school and a maths teacher wants to see the working out. But if you're one of those people that can do it in your head and they just do the answer, it's kind of like that. Now I'm just quickly showing you that obviously a human body, when it's moving, body parts overlap. Sometimes the balance can look all off, and that's totally natural. That's totally fine. So you should draw what you see again. If the body looks all awkward and there's things overlapping, or there's part of the body that you can't see, then don't draw it. You know it's there. Just draw what you see. Like these two guys. Well, that's actually one guy who was sat on a chair, but he kept moving, and it looks like he's doing some kind of floating Tai Chi. Kind of like that. Okay, I'll just finish this little guy off. Now, as you know, I like to add shadow to pretty much everything. I'm just going to do the light from above and see the shadow as it is on the illustration from the photograph. Shadow under his pecs, under his belly, his back leg is all the way underneath him, so that's all in shadow. Okay, so the basic soft sketch of the guy is done. What I'm quickly now going to show you is what I was referring to before about, traditional methods of drawing. Now, apparently, if you were to draw a full-grown figure, the body should be the same length of 8 heads. Now, I've never ever used that in my life. It does look good when you're sketching. It looks like you know what you're doing, but in all honesty, I've never used it because every human body I've ever drawn is never just stood straight. They're always crooked or bent over. And even in this example here, that's 1 head, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's not 8. So I don't use it. I understand why it's there. I understand the philosophy. You can have a go. You can see it can work, and it does work. But personally speaking, I don't like doing it. So my method is draw what you see and enjoy it. Another little helpful hint is hips and legs. So I'm just going to do a really quick sketch of what I remember the hips looking like, super loose. But when you come to drawing legs on a person that might be standing up straight or running towards you or whatnot, a little thing to remember is that on a skeleton, your thigh bones from your hips down actually point in towards the knee. I think they call that a gait. So it's just worth remembering a little bit when you're drawing something, even a cartoon character that you want to look a little bit more real. Just bear in mind the hips and the top half of the legs kind of point inwards a little bit. If you're doing big muscly dudes and stuff, you can't really tell. And it all depends on how you stood anyway. But this fella's walking towards us, not too exaggerated, so you can tell the thigh bones going in. Okay, so the next part of this little exercise is now really having a bit of fun. Whatever you've drawn, whatever you have decided to sketch, family member or from a magazine, get your darker pen and now invent a whole new character, but on top of the same pose. Go for it. Just let your imagination go nuts. I'm not going to go too crazy. Well, yeah, I will. I'll go a bit crazy. I'm going to do a robot walking towards us. Now, I'm making this up completely as I go along, and I really recommend you do it too. Don't worry about ruining your sketch work if you're proud of it. This is what it's about. Keep drawing. Keep filling those pages in your sketchbook. Keep going over things. Bottom line is enjoy it. Quite frankly, I'm really enjoying this. I'm completely making it up. I've already made several mistakes, but because it's an invented character, no one's going to know. Cool, I'm going to quit jabbering on now so you can just relax and watch this little time lapse of me literally having fun making up a character. Have a go yourself, go wild, go over it, keep going. I'd love to see what you do after this one actually, so please share it. Enjoy. Cool. Sorry if that got a bit freaky toward the end with the hanging head thing. I hope you really enjoyed that one, and I really hope you've got adventurous and tried some new things, drawn some strange stuff. Please share them. Massive thanks to Creative Lancashire and Fred Alders again. Get in contact. It'd be great to hear from you. Stay safe and see you soon.